Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Susan Timchak and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'd like to welcome you here. I am actually continuing the card that I posted yesterday, and I don't know what it is with YouTube. I had such difficulty, number one, getting it to even post multiple times, and thank goodness I went back, although I'm sure one of you would have told me. I went back later on at night to just make sure everything was okay, and it cut me off. Oh, I had a feeling that was going to happen, but I didn't think I was that long-winded. But I am here to share with you the rest of creating that card, although the card has already been created along with a few others. So you're actually in luck, because after I did that video, I actually did a couple more cards with more sponging in that. So you'll want to go back and check out the Graveyard Gate, I forget what I called it, Graveyard Gate card part 1. This is actually part 2, and I'm going to stop jibber jabbering before I run out of time again. So I am using for this card the bundle, which is the Graveyard Gate along with the detailed gate thinlits. And again, if you purchase this as a bundle, you save 10%. And although it may look like it's just going to be for Halloween, I am definitely going to be working on coming up with more ideas using this. Even this cute little "You're Invited." I love how it's, you know, kind of like a heading there. And anyhow, without further ado, we're going to continue the card. So I stopped at where I did all the sponging, did all the stamping on the front of the card. My next step was going to be to do the gate. So let me share that with you. And again, I apologize for it being cut off. I sometimes don't know those things happen until I actually go back in and either watch it or, you know, I don't know. I'm sorry though. So that's all I got to say about that. So I am using the Big Shot platform, the thin adapter die, well, the thin die adapter. It's been one of those days. Now this what I'm using, this is the Precision Base Plate, and this is great to use when you're doing things that have a lot of detail. So you don't want to use this side, you want to use this side. And mine is getting pretty well used up, but it still works. So like I stated in the previous video, this piece of card is cut at 5.5 by 8.5, and that's how that's going to be. Now here is the detailed gate, and you can see it is very detailed. And I'm just going to put that, I hope that, yeah, that's showing up, on the black, and I'm putting my cutting plate over the top. Now, I have to tell you, this, let me move this over, this does take a little elbow grease, and I may have to stand up. So this is hard to go through first time around. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass it through again. Now, because of the fine detail in this, you will want to probably do this a few times. So let's take a peek at how it's doing. So we're going to lift that off. Oh, okay, that cut out. Very good. Now if you notice this, it looks pretty well like everything is cut out, but just because I can, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn it this way. Sometimes, depending on everyone's Big Shot, is different as to the thickness. Sometimes you may have to add a shim, which is basically just another piece of cardstock to just give it that little bit more that it needs. Sometimes, whoop, just by turning your piece going the other direction, that helps too. Alright, that looks good to me. So let me get this out of the way. Okay, so here we are. Ooh, what a mess that created on my desk. I should bring in, hold on. Many of you may think, no, you know what, let me just bring this so that we don't get any kind of shine. Alright, my paper pumpkin's upside down, but it's Monday, and it's been that kind of a day for me all day at work. I don't know about you, but anyhow. Okay, now because of the intricacy, is that a word? I'm going to make it one, of this die and all the little bits and bops that have to come out, I am going to be using the Big Shot die brush kit. And what I did with mine is, this is one of our wooden cases, which you can purchase. They're not in the catalog, but if you just search it, or, you know, message me if you're trying to find it. You can buy all of our cases separately. I think there's like a pack of 4 this may come in, and these come in handy for a lot of things. So the brush die set, I believe the new one comes with 2 of these, which is a spongy kind of thing. And then this is the die brush, which is kind of like these pokey things that are on there. And I put it in here because it kind of keeps the little mess contained, because all these little pieces are going to be coming off. Okay, so here's what you want to do. You're going to run this over, and sorry if that's annoying sound, just have to deal with it. You're just going to run this over, and what happens is all these little bristles go through all these little holes, and all these little pieces come out. Instead of sitting there and having to poke them out, which you may have to do. There might be 1 or 2 little pieces. Sometimes I even pick it up in my hands. See how it's all coming out? And I'll tell you what, if you get this die, or any of our intricate dies, definitely pick up this die brush. This will save you many times of saying bad words. And look at all the pieces that came out. Well, it's hard to see, it's black on black, but all these little pieces came out. And if you have a friend that you don't really like, you can gather all these pieces up and stick it in his or her card. So, okay, now I'm going to peel this off. Let me move this aside. And can you see the fine detail in that? I want to say pretty much everything came out by using this brush. This is like a godsend. Okay, so then what I did next was I brought in my paper cutter and I used the scoring blade. And at about 1/4, which quarter on this side of your blade, that's 1/4 of an inch. I put that there, and I use the scoring blade to score that. So that will make it an easy fold over. And I did the same on the other side. And that will help ease that folds over. Okay, so, well, what I did next was, let me see if I can bring something in just to kind of, I mean, like I said, I already had it done, so pretend this was your card. And what you would do is you would fold this over, and that would create the front of your gate, okay? And if you want the gate doors to open, you can go ahead and cut right down the center of this. But I didn't. I had a, so it didn't. So what I did is I opened this up. I put some of our, you can use either the Tombow glue or the Terran tape along both sides. And then you would come in, if this was your card, and you would wrap that around your layered piece. And that would create your card. Now also in this die kit is a little lock and a little key. So I cut those out of the, doing the same way I did the gate, I cut them out of our silver metallic paper. And in the stamp set, where are we at? There's this Open If You Dare. And again, I did this all yesterday, and I apologize I don't have it, you know, right down to tell you, but I just stamped this. I roughed up the edges with my fingernail and dirtied it up and hung that on my gate. And let me show you the finished card along with a couple of others too. So here is the finished card. So there's the Open If You Dare little lock and key. I stuck that on with glue dots, and this is the gate that I wrapped around. And then this was the inside that I demoed yesterday. So isn't that cool? Wasn't that worth the wait? Okay, sorry, maybe it wasn't, I don't know. So here was another one that I did, and basically the same thing. Actually, I believe this was probably the one that I did on the video. I think it was this one because I remember doing all the different colors around the outside here sponging. So how cool is that? Now here's another one. This time I used the basic gray cardstock. And I did a little bit different sponging on here. See, all the sponging is kind of different. Depends on what you like. And this card opens this way. And I use other elements of the stamp set to do that. Have a haunted Halloween. Now here's another one. Now instead of using the whole gate, I actually cut it. So I cut like here, and up here is this piece. See, like this. This is how that one went. And the bottom piece, you can cut this, and you can make this part into something totally different. I mean, you could cut this up. So here I have a small gate. And the inside, nothing. But there's no key with that. So this one, no key for the key holder. Now here's another one I did. Now this one I used that silver paper like I used it on the lock and key, but I did it on the gate this time. And it's a real dark and spooky background on there. You see that silver paper? Okay. And then I have one more to share with you. This, I did not use the gate at all. I basically used this gate, and I used these two columns on either end, and then the lantern I stamped on top. I'm going to tell you, if you're going to do something like this, I would definitely recommend the Stampin'-A-Jig. And if you don't know what that is, I am planning on doing a video, hopefully next, to share with you how to use the Stampin'-A-Jig, which helps you to align everything up. So those are all my cards. I hope I didn't disappoint, and I hope you enjoyed them all. Let me try to fit them all on here. There's so many of them. So, and you can see, they're all different. Wait, here we go. They're all different. We're crooked. But the sponging, you know, depending on how you want it to go. But it's basic layout, but the sponging is a little different. So, I hope you enjoyed this, and again, I apologize for the delay. I'm going to try to pop this video up right as soon as I am done here. So I hope you all have a super stamping day. And I'm going to send along some glimmer hugs to you all. And I hope you join me back here real soon. All right. Have a good night, everyone. We'll talk to you later. Bye for now.